That was a good catch, bro. That was smooth.
Yeah, did you see that?
That was smooth, bro. I don't know how you did it. I'm glad you did, though, because
oh, you're not on here, man. Where you at, bro?
I don't know what happened now. Damn it. All that smooth transition.
Yeah, man. What happened?
Nick and Wes. Okay. I'm seeing. All right. Well,
we're on the right one.
We were. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. All right. Hold on.
Is your camera on, bro? We got to get the hell off this thing, man.
Dude.
Got to get the hell off this thing, man. Guys, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, man. Do not use, if you have access to StreamYard and you must have one of these apps to stream, I'll just say, just use StreamYard, man. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there.
Yeah, this one's a little bit of a pain in the ass. That's all right, man. That was, I was kind of mute my screen for the countdown. And so what happened is it hid the screen.
Look at Pimp Daddy over here, bro. What's up with all the chains, cuz?
Well, see, Sierra Entertainment had to do a video earlier. So, you know, Sierra Entertainment being the promotional company,
you got to have the bling on.
I had to do it, man. Had to do it. Exciting things, even though the price action is kind of shitty. I got something going on right now, dude. I want to kind of jump in. I know we're at 84 and we're in the boring zone, but I kind of want to dive right in. But welcome everybody first. Wes, do your signature.
Yeah. No, just thank you guys for being here. We stream twice a week, Monday and Thursday. Today is Monday. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you like, share, all that good stuff, man. We come to you guys twice a week and we go over market conditions. We look at trade setups. And since the market's been, you know, we've been getting some market structure and some movement, man. We've been having a lot of good trade setups. And so now is the time to lock in, guys. Now is the time to lock in. I think that we get some more movement from here. I think price looks really, really good. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got, man. Let's jump into it, man. I'm excited.
Let's dive in here. I got a little bit of Mux action pulled up today, guys. I haven't used Mux in a while on Arbitrum. I'm not officially. Where is the screen? Okay, should be up. There we go.
It's on there.
Okay, cool deal. Okay, so this is very interesting. You had the double bottom. I just want to point.
Yep.
You had a double bottom. Which is always, but typically a bullish pattern. We went bullish, right? And now look at this perfect wedgie we're forming, okay? So this is an ascending wedgie. This is a bearish pattern. This is the 4-hour chart, guys, so this isn't anything too radical. But I did just want to say that it is pretty interesting that after a double bottom, you get the move. And now, you know, I mean, I would take it from here to here. I would say, like, right, you know, you could draw it steeper if you wanted to, but
I forgot that I got kicked off.
The ascending wedgie,
so I wasn't able to look at
plays out. Yeah, the ascending wedgie here typically plays out to the downside, and you know, if you take it from there, you could say we've already kind of broken down under it. You haven't really used it as resistance yet. This is kind of just a quick drawing, guys. I'm not getting too crazy. Or you could draw it from here, you know, from these wicks here. You could go from the wicks here. Come on, stop being glitchy, you bitch. So something like that, you know, or even if you wanted to take it to the candle bodies, any way you slice this, even if you bring it here, it's still an ascending wedge, guys. This typically breaks to the downside. This is hour though, so let's not get too radical. Let's kind of zoom a little bit here and let's see what we're doing longer term. I want to actually zoom out just for a second, Wes, and let's just go to the weekly for a second, just get a glance at what's the overall trend. And while we're waiting for this to load, guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button to the channel. Go over trade setups, over market conditions, NFTs, gaming, pretty much anything Web3, investing, and even stocks we get into. Yeah, so Mux is not responding very well right now on the week. That's not because here, and it could be West that we're using two different profiles. 84s, and let's go to the weekly over here. I mean, see, when you look at it from point, and CoinGecko's got kind of funky time zones on this, guys, but we'll go to the best one we can. But we're pretty much where we said we would be. We got there in direction. You said up first and down. Then I said down first and up. Still right where we be, which is 84,000. Not a whole lot has changed. If you go back to April 7th, you can see we are in an uptrend right there. But there's a typical ascending wedge pattern right here where it's wide down here. This is very wide, and then it narrows and kind of goes up in a slant. So that shape is still an ascending wedge over the weekly, but you only had a little breakdown, right? You had a small breakdown here, and you bounced at 83. So that's actually a good thing. That's not bad at all. We'll take that as far as the strength of Bitcoin goes over the last week. We're actually doing pretty damn good. We're in an uptrend. You know, we're kind of going sideways a little bit. You know, of course, you had this ascending wedge, and then you had a little downward corrective, but that's totally normal. I actually like to see that. I like seeing Bitcoin do that because it's actually behaving itself. And CoinGecko is just going to spin right now. So I'm going to close that out, Wes. It's I'm not going to keep lagging it. I think it's because of two profiles. So let me close that out and get us back up. So I'm gonna let Wes see if it doesn't lag using the other profile.
I'm hoping
but
I don't get kicked out. Yeah, I'm hoping I don't get kicked out. Last week, we have
some viewers, dude.
Yeah, last week we got viewership kicked out, y'all. I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to go over, and that was one of them, man. The double bottom. This was the one that I was texting in the chat here when I got kicked out. I was texting Sierra. I was sending it in the group chat. And I'm like, dude, there's a double bottom. We're starting to come up. We're going to retrace. That would be a perfect time to enter right there. Enter along. If you remember, because I remember hearing Sierra say to go long. And that did very well, man. If you did take that long, congratulations. That did very well. And right now we are having kind of a correction moment right now. So there is opportunity coming up very soon, whether it's to the downside or to the upside. We can see. If you don't mind, I would like to go ahead and share my charts here.
Absolutely. Let's jump in. I just wanted to make a comment, guys. That pattern playing out, the ascending wedge playing out slightly down and sideways, it's beautiful because we haven't had, like Wes calls it, market structure. We have not seen Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been just spazoid for the last, like, I don't know, dude, 3 months. It feels like just fucking weird patterns and shit that just doesn't make sense. Like almost like the charts are going backwards, like the graph is going backwards and then down. And like, it's like, what kind of shape is this shit? Right. And then, so now to see, ascending wedge, breakdown, sideways consolidation. It's like we're getting back to the basics. We're getting back to textbook moves. And it's exciting, dude, because it shows that I think it shows that manipulation is almost done. Like, not done because it's markets, but I think the powerful manipulation by the whales is just about done. In other words, I think all the big whales that wanted to buy have already suppressed the price enough to where they've got the cheap Bitcoin they wanted. So I think it's time to move on to green pastures. I think we're looking good, man. But let's take a look, Wes.
Yeah, let's. I'm excited, man. I don't even know what I want to look at first because I'm just excited. I didn't get to share it last week, man. So I'm excited to share this today. Hopefully, there's not too much of a lag here. Hopefully, it's not. It doesn't kick me out halfway through. But there's a few things that I want to point out, and like Sierra's saying, it feels different right now. Like the way that it's moving feels different right now, and for good reason. Why? Right? We've had this since our all-time high. We have had this downtrending level of resistance that we have not been able to get over. Right? This has been up on the screen. You guys have seen this for a while. Every time we've hit it, we've rejected, and we've rejected pretty hard. I mean, if you look back here, big rejection. Right here, big rejection. Back here, big rejection. So we've been getting all these big rejections. Right now, the way that the market structure looks on the daily time frame, this is going to be our major levels here. On the daily, you can see that it looks really similar to back here. So remember, this was giving us our resistance on the lower time frames, about 84,000. And we were just so ready. And when we finally broke above it and retested it here on that on the red candle, we retested it. We were like, okay, maybe this is it, man. We're getting some, we got our bullish crossover. The RSI's got plenty of time to run. We've got a little bit of volume ticking up a little bit here, but we fell back down. We just essentially we just went sideways, hit the level again, and got rejected. But this time, everything is similar, but we're starting to get some higher volume in, above average volume, and we've finally broken through that point of resistance, and we've closed above it. Not only did we break above it, like here we went above it, but we didn't close above it. So now we're seeing this. If you look at the angle of this market, like it's going 3 o'clock, right? The angle is like 3 o'clock on a wall. But if you look at it here, I mean, we're talking that's impulsive, right? We're moving up. It's a 12 to 1 o'clock angle. That looks good, and we're making, we're pushing up. We got rejected, yes, but we only came back to the 0.5. We pushed up again and then finally broke through it, and now we're sitting above it. One thing that does kind of concern me a little bit, depending on the volume for today, is we need to push up above this red volume candle here on the bottom. I'd like to see that happen, but we do still have room, in the MACD's bullish on the daily. So on the higher time frames, we're looking good. And not to mention, we're kind of putting in this, we're tightening up here. We've looked at the Bollinger.
What, Wes, real quick. I just want to say also, if you zoom in real quick on the right where we're at right now, look at that. We're also having a slight flag out. Like we're flagging out on the top of this move. It's not the most bullish flag in the world, but at least you have that nice move upward and then a slight, it's wanting to form a flag. So I just want to point that out real quick.
Hopefully we can get this volume above that red candle, but we still haven't put in a red candle that is engulfing the green candles next to it on the volume profile. Still a little bit of movement and still a little bit of distance to run here on the RSI, and the MACD just flipped, dude. So that is incredible. And then we drop it down to the 4 hour. We can see that rising wedge that Siri's talking about. And this is that double bottom that, we were screaming about here, man. When they close right at each other on that candle, I mean, that is a beautiful close, man. That's if perfect, you could have caught that, congratulations. That would have been an excellent move there. And then we've gotten our volume rising, so we know that it's real. And yeah, it looks really good in my opinion. But yeah, we've fallen out of it. This is what I'm kind of expecting. At first, I was looking to take my trade here in this blue zone, which would have been a small gain, right? If I did take it, but I wanted to come back. I wanted to retrace a little bit more. So if I were to take the Fibonacci retracements, I would like to see it come back to about 80,000 and taken along. Now, this yellow line that we're looking at right here, this is that downtrending level of resistance on the daily. I just marked it as a yellow one. So if we could get that to kind of go sideways a little bit, maybe, and then eventually come down and hit it 81,000, like that would make me happy. That would be the top of this close, right? And we would be retesting close to the 0.5 and this downtrending level of resistance. If we can get that like on a daily time frame to come down and retest that on a daily, dude, that's mega bullish, man. But on the 4 hour, we got a MACD cross. RSI is a little high, and you can see we have this rising, the volume. The red is engulfing all the greens. So we either going to go sideways, or I do think that we take that plummet down to 81, 80,000, something like that. But this is a strong market right now, dude. We haven't seen this. We haven't felt this in a very long time. I mean, they have options futures. Everybody's eyeing 100K, man. Like I saw that data today. We could pull that up later, but yeah, it looks good, man. It feels good. And as Siri's saying, this is just kind of trailing off, going sideways, which is bullish continuation movement. So,
yeah, and just again, not to keep dwelling on it, but the reality of the situation, to finally see a double bottom, and then an ascending wedge, and then a small breakdown and a sideways move. You guys, this is the cleanest movement we've seen on Bitcoin price action. I mean, look right before. Look at all these weird.
Yeah,
like,
it hasn't been moving
just
smoothly at all.
Spastic, dude. Look at these spastic patterns over the past month or two, and it's just like all of a sudden, Fink said, "All right, let the price chill for whoever was doing it." I don't know who the hell was doing it. But whoever's been choking, I think they've been doing it with limit orders, man, because you can literally put in 10 gazillion trillion dollars worth of limit orders in, and then you can cancel them at any time. So the level 2s on the books, people will see these orders in, like buy orders and sell orders, and they don't have to buy or sell the shit. They are total bluff. They're called bluff orders. And these whales use that shit as a tactic. They'll put in these orders, and then it'll show up on the order books, and people go, oh, there's a buy order here, or there's a sell order here. And a lot of times it's computers doing the shit anyway, guys. It's not even people trading it. But my point is, there's a human with their arms folded behind that screen that's telling the tech guy, hey, put an order in right here, try to psych them out, or hey, put an order in there. And I think what you've been seeing happen over the last 2 months is so many fake outs that they've literally spun their own heads around, and they realize it's like you can manipulate Bitcoin's price action a little bit, but without putting the actual money on the line, without actually selling your Bitcoin or buying the Bitcoin on the exchanges, that price action is typically going to say, you know what? It's fair. It's one of the fairest assets in the world. So it's good to see this patterns breaking out and actually seeing normal
market structure
patterns again. It's
and
if
you remember, dude, towards the end of that over here, like towards the end of this back here, it started doing the same thing. Remember? I mean, look at this, dude. Look how similar this shit looks. We had that big red candle, a retracement. And then this is kind of like where we're trailing off. We come back to that 0.5, you know what I mean? Do a little double bottom here, and then we continue up. It's starting to do the same thing back here, like with the market structure. Like it's actually making sense and it's actually tradable. The one thing that I will say, man, that I was kind of concerned about a little bit was the close. What was it? The daily close.
Holmes in the house, Daniel's in the house. What is going on?
The weekly close. So, all right, looking at this, man, guys, you can obviously see on the weekly we are in a downtrend. We're making higher, lower lows, lower highs. Again, there's that falling wedge pattern there. But to break, at least on the weekly time frame, we needed to get above this level here, that 86,000, and eat this candle here, and we just couldn't get above it. We wicked up there, and I was hoping we could close above it to break the downtrend on the weekly time frame, but we weren't able to do it. But it's something that I'm watching. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's over. It just means that we need to, this week, man, this week's got to be good. We got to break above it and knock out this downtrend, because technically we're still in a downtrend, man, until we can break above this swing high here at 86,000. So
And one more point to what you're saying right now. It looks like we broke out of the descending wedge and we're having a bounce.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that.
But,
oh, well, yeah, that's what I was showing back there on the daily.
But here's the big B. Here's the but. Yes, we broke out. Yes, we're kind of bouncing on it. But look at the wicks on the tops of the candles. We're obviously getting pushed down. There's a lot of pressure still wanting to push us to the downside. Yep. And here's what I think's gonna. I don't want to say I think's going to happen, but I'm going to say is definitely on the table from looking at this pattern. You had another week or two to stay in this pattern, and for whatever reason, we decided to run up out of it real quick. And I think the running up out of it real quick is a fake out. And I'm just going to say it like that. I think this is a fake out.
Fake out right here. This looks.
I think they're going to bring
this to me is.
It looks strong, but I feel like they're going to drop us back down in this pattern one more time. I think they have room to do it over the next week, and I think that it's a very, very high potential that's what they're gearing up for. I'm not really doing this from a charting perspective. I'm doing this from a psychological perspective. I think that there is room to go back down into this pattern one more time. And it's possible. Now, it's not likely. Like right now, I would say we're 60-40.
Yeah.
We stay above this trend and we're good.
And that's what I was saying,
but
to
I'm
come back
still
and
saying
retest. Like that is what I'm expecting. Is a retest of this, but it might not happen for a couple of days. So this would be lower, and this would just kind of flag out, and then a quick wick back to retest it, and then we continue up. But I think that as far as like breaking below this swing here at 79K, I mean, I don't know, man. So far, it doesn't look like we will do that. You know what I mean? Not with how it's moving right now. Like it looks good. It feels different. We're getting easy market structure, and yeah, man, I'm trading the shit out of it, dude. And so far, it's been really well.
Yeah, I would actually look to short if we go back in that red zone. I would look to short, and I would say that they could push it down one more time before we go into let's just call it what? Let's call it May. The second week in April, which we're almost there right now. So in reality, we're already almost at the point where I said I was ready to flip bullish, which was the second week in April. But we still have at least till the end of this week. I'd say by next Monday's show, I would be able to make my call a little bit more. But I do like this. I like everything I'm seeing. The only thing I don't like is the top of the flag right now is bearish. That shape at the top is
what
a bearish
they were putting
shape.
in now for today.
Yeah, those three candles. You see those three candles? Those to me are a bear flag. They're not bullish. They're still very bearish. So because of that, and because we had that slight rising wedge, and because I think we still have another week, that's why I said that we could see 72 to, I mean, that not 72, I'm sorry, 77, 78. I need my glasses. Can't see a damn thing. 78, around 78, potential come back and hit that double bottom right about where you got
78
that cursor.
right there.
Possibly hits that 78 level one more time. And then depending on what kind of is going on in the news of the day, if you got any kind of drama with Trump, and let's be honest, there's always some kind of drama with Trump. Then Finkster and all your talking heads on the news could say, "Oh, Bitcoin fell, to $78,000 again," and then blah blah blah, and they could mouth it back down to say, 74 to 76 again. But guys, we're freaking counting pennies at this point. Like in reality, if we're just sitting here looking at, $84,000 Bitcoin and bitching that it might go to 77,000, if you had 84 cents and then someone said, "Hey, let me borrow a couple cents," and it's going to leave you with 77 cents. How bad is the difference between 77 cents and 84 cents? It ain't shit.
That's pennies.
It's not shit. It's not shit. So in the grand scheme of things, what I always try to tell people with Bitcoin right now, it is pennies. Just because it seems like thousands of dollars, you got to understand how much capital is in Bitcoin. And when you look at how much capital is actually in it, a couple of $1,000 on the price action is nothing. It's nothing. It's not like it used to be. It's not like going from 3,000 to 10,000. That was a big deal. But when you go from 84,000 to 77,000, it's not as big of a deal anymore.
I don't know, man. That is a big hit, bro.
Well, I'm just saying if you have a big, for the whales it is, but for the little guy, this ain't shit. Like if you got your little $2,000 worth of Bitcoin, and the price goes from 84 to 77, dude, it's you're not even gonna feel it. So let's keep things in perspective, guys. Just because we're calling for a potential drop doesn't mean your portfolio is going to go to shit unless you're like Wes and you're all in on shit coins, or you're like me and you're way overweighted into meme coins that are worthless and NFTs that are you probably already owe money on because they're so freaking low. So, but then your portfolio. take a hit.
So on the daily, man, like kind of what I'm expecting is based on the market structure and the way we've been moving. I'm just kind of expecting a pullback to this red zone, man. Like, and that would be anywhere between 80,000 and 82,000. I had this blue zone up for the lower time frames. I was looking for a scalp trade, so that's why that blue is up. But like for this, if you're looking to swing trade something and we do come back into this red zone, I think that would be a beautiful time to possibly take a long there. But that's it. On the 1 hour, the only thing that I saw on the 1 hour is that we were putting in this widening, this broadening, descending broadening wedge. And then we look how many times we tested it here. That was a good trade that I did not take it. I wish I was paying attention to. But yeah, I mean, either way though, we are still above that on the breakout, and we'll see, man. I do think that we possibly come back down below that blue zone, retest the resistance, and come back up. But we'll see. Sometimes these things hold, man. Like this blue level, maybe it'll hold. I don't know. It's just this counter trend level here on the way up that we had. Yeah. So that is the only reason I had that blue one up there, which would have been a good trade if I took it, and I didn't.
Yeah, it's respecting the descending broadening wedge, the top line, the resistance line. It's respecting that as of right now on the bounces. It has bounced on it several times, but there's confluence in the blue box zone
it's
too.
Like I just had it on there, but it was like hitting these perfectly and then bounced hard off of it. But I mean, you know, obviously this is the 1 hour, so can't really do much there. On the 15-minute, I've been trading the 1 hour and the 15-minute, man. It's been pretty reasonable, like as far as, you know, success on trades. Pretty reasonable. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
And overall, if we zoom out and we look at what basically about 3 weeks ago, I said that the $82,000 to $88,000 range was going to be our new home for a couple of weeks. And that's what's exactly has played out. We've stayed in this range. Yeah, we've gone to the top of it. Yes, we've gone to the bottom of it. But in reality, look what's happened, guys. We've stayed in that range.
And people need to understand, we are still in a downtrend, right? We're still in a downtrend, man. On the weekly time frame, on the higher time frames, we're still in a downtrend until we can break above. Like on the daily, man, we're moving in the right direction. You know, we just beat out this swing high right here. We're moving in the right direction, but, you know, we need to break above this red zone. That is a big area. Lux Algo has it. This blue zone, that is a big area. That's a high volume area. And then, you know, we still have these levels to take out if we want to reverse here, right? We do have the money flow on the daily time frame starting to fold over into, you know, trying to go to the green, momentum shifting to the upside. So we got a little bit of confluence here. I mean, everything is moving in the right direction. We just need to break some levels and reverse, like technically reverse, as long as we don't want to see no more downward pressure.
And I agree. And we're looking good. We're looking like we're at the bottom of it. We just had a slight break above it. Like we're trying to get out of the pattern. We just don't want to jump the gun too quickly, guys, because here's the thing. Aside from being in the downtrend, how much strength is it going to take? Those two levels that Wes just had pulled up, the blue box and the red box, you got to keep in mind, if we run up there too quickly, right? If we run up there too quickly and get rejected, which you can see happen 3 times, we've already been rejected 3 times on the bottom of the red zone. So once, twice, 3 times we've been rejected. So let alone the blue box above us. Like, do we really want to run up there again right now? I don't think so. I don't think we want to run up there, because if we do, we're definitely going to come back down, in my opinion. Now, if we go sideways here and maybe a little bit down, reset some of the indicators, cool off a little bit, I think that would be the best thing that could happen. So yeah, I agree with you on those 2 zones, because those are the zones that we have to look at, and then
break those.
105, of course. Once we get past those, we got to break 102 to 105. And that'll be the next tougher level.
This yellow line here, this is our point of control, which is good. Like we've gotten above it since we've been in this range. So since we first came in here in February 25th, whatever to be exact. But since we've been in this range here, This has been our point of control at 84,000. We are above it, so that is a good thing. It looks like we, bounced off of it here on yesterday's candle, but we're above that. But so we could just go sideways in between that red zone in the point of control here. But ultimately, this red is where we want to be. We need to get above this to officially reverse and start moving to the upside. And then the only thing I have, Siri, that I wanted to point, I got a bunch of shit because I wasn't able to share it last week, dude. So sorry, man.
No, absolutely.
The only thing that I wanted to point out here is the trend confirmation, the Kalman trend levels. This is going to be our 200 is in the blue. You can see we keep getting rejected on that, right? We haven't gotten above the 200 yet. We're trying to get above it, but we haven't officially gotten above it yet, and stayed above it and closed and stayed above it. The 20, we are now above the 20 moving average, which is this green. You can see it flipped green here. And then the 50, we're barely above that. So that flipped green as well. It's just hidden behind that candle. And then so right now we're wedged between the 50 and the 200 on the daily time frame. We have our directional index that shows us that we are moving in a bullish direction, but it's very, very low, man. This blue line, we want this blue line to start tracking up, and we want the red to drop and the green to be on top. So just for a good example, so you can see here, back here, right? We had our green flip above the red and the blue started coming up. That shows us that the trend is strong, right? When it's just going in and out, in and out like this, how it's doing now, that's just sideways bullshit. Like we can't really go off of that. We want to see this thing flip like it did back here, and we want to see that blue slowly go up because it's showing that we're starting to go into a strong trend. And I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, the EMAs are something we definitely need to keep an eye on. We just had that death cross. Yep. What was it, last week, a couple days ago?
We'll end up making this cross too, man. We'll end up, look, the way that it's moving now, the 20 is headed towards the 50. If we can get that move, the 20 crossing over the 50, the last time that happened when we were back here was right here. And that was after we had bottomed out, right? And we started making higher lows. So we had our crossover right here. And you could,
Now, if you go to the right about an inch or two, go to the right. Right there. You see that area? That's what I think we're about to do right now. I think we're going to do this, Wes. I think we're going to come up, come back down, come up like that little double. You see that little mountaintop right there, very thin? I think that's where we're at. I think that's what's going to happen over the next week or two. I think we'll have a little bit of up, a little bit of down, and then we have our explosion. It's coming, dude. The breakout to 120 to $120,000 Bitcoin. That breakout, I believe, is coming. Excuse me. I hate giving time predictions, but I'm going to throw it out there. I believe the breakout to 120 is coming within probably 2 to 5 weeks. Like, if I had to really guess, the soonest I would say 2 weeks. The longest I would say 5 weeks. But I feel like that breakout is, man, it's right. And dude, if we can catch that long from where we are right now ish to 120,
that's what we want to do.
And just 80. We just want to 86x leverage it real quick. 92x leverage, whatever. No, I'm joking, guys. Do not ever do that. You will get destroyed.
Yeah. So so this was the 50. This is so the 20 crossed above the 50 right here, and that's bullish. That's showing you that when these lines are green, that is showing you that there's 100% without a doubt unbiased indicator showing that we're in an uptrend, right? And that's why I like to have them, because if I just have some moving averages in front of me, I'll try to make excuses like, well, maybe this. No, what the Kalman trend does is it sets it all right there for you. You don't have to argue with yourself. It's unbiased. It's an objective way to look if we're in a bear or a trend. And so that's the only reason I put this chart together, is just so I can look at this and say, well, we're in an uptrend, so I want to look for some long trades. And this was the last time that happened, and we're seeing a lot of similarities between what happened here and what's happening right now. I'm sure we'll probably get something like this to happen as well, But we gotta,
that's what I'm looking for.
We gotta get under the 200 though. We are above the 200. So maybe we break above those, get our cross on the 20 and the 50, get well above the 200, and then come back and retest that 200, and then it's off to the races. If that happens, dude, that's when I'm putting in my long.
That's exactly what I was saying. That's what I think is about to happen. In other words, like the EMA thing. Remember last month when I said the EMA, we go up, we touch it once, we come back down, we touch it again, and then we, I'm sorry, I said we break through it first, then we come up and hit it, and we did that. We literally did what I thought we would do. Now, that next pattern is what's next. It's that sideways little fake out to the upside, come back down, and then off to the races. How much time do we have between now and when that happens? Not a whole lot of time, dude, because if you look at the charts, if you look at what happened last time, the time is literally a couple weeks, bro. Like literally that happened in a couple of weeks. So this could happen. Man, this could make May the breakout where it's like, oh shit, where everyone thought Bitcoin was just done. Everyone's bored.
We got the
84,000, who
walk
cares?
Away shit. So they probably will.
They will. They'll fake everybody out. These suckers.
Yeah. So that, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm expecting here. But, this is just a good way to look at it. Man, we're in the right direction. We're not there yet. We've got gray candles. That means we're trying to put in, some kind of reversal. And everything is pointing towards a bullish reversal. But, there's still targets that we have to get over, man. We got to keep those targets in mind. If not, this means nothing, right? So...
Also, sentiment. Let's take a sentiment check. Let's take a pulse check on the market. Guess what? Our viewers are up a lot more on Twitter and on YouTube as far as today goes. Now, it could be just Restream is acting a little better than it was last week. It could be, but I don't think so. I think sentiment and excitement starting to come back. Right? Humans in the stock market also. They tend to react seasonally, like summertime, wintertime, holidays, and all that kind of stuff. As humans, you still have that human element. And I think that we've gone through the crypto winter of this bull run, where we're still in a bull run, but what we just went through was winter. Like it was like the boring sideways downward consolidation. And I think likewise, even though the stock market says sell in May and walk away, crypto is only 13 years old, 14 years old. So crypto doesn't have that. It has the correlation to the stock market still, but I don't think crypto has that age-old sell in May and walk away bullshit. Because I remember my portfolio in 2021 was the best it ever was in June, like ever. So it was like May, June, July during the last cycle 4 years ago. Was the most epic. My portfolio was up the highest at that point about mid-June. First week in June, my portfolio was the highest it ever was. And then, of course, it was all downhill from there, and I didn't sell like an idiot. But long story short, I think that sell in May and walk away still works for the stock market. But for crypto, I don't know, man. I'm not putting my cards on that. I don't think it really holds for crypto. So, what do you think about that? I mean, the correlation between sell in May and walk, because that's a 200-year-old saying.
I mean, if you look at, previous bull runs, I feel like sell in May, walk away has already been debunked, right? Because we've seen some pretty good months of May for Bitcoin, except for its bear market years. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. Yeah, I know last year really sucked. Or was it last year or the year before? Might have been the year before. When was May?
Cheddar Bob in the house saying, let's effing go, boys.
Yeah.
Give Golden Cross. When Golden Cross, let's go.
Yeah, May was this back here. So we had May start here, and then May was actually an uptrend last year all the way to June. So May was good right here. But if you look in the bear market, where was it when we went into that? April, May. Oh, yeah, May. I remember this one. This one sucked, dude. So May started here. Bitcoin 34,000 and then ended up being 19,000 by the 1st of June. So I remember that one being shitty, but the last two have been really good. I think. Hold on. 2023 was kind of sideways. Yeah.
Yeah. It was 2021, I believe, is when we had that freaking epic June.
Yeah.
First week in June was freaking
So,
killer. And
yeah. All right. So the last thing I really want to show as far as the trend reversal and the trend goes is I was comparing this chart to the previous bull run. And I've come to the conclusion that we are 100% right up in here looking for that next leg up. And I say that because all the moving averages line up. We're well below the 20. We're below the 50. You can see the gray candles. You can see this was bullish. We had our blue going up, showing trend strength. We had our green going up, showing a bullish trend. And then it started to reverse, come down. Red started coming up. And we're doing the same thing here. The blue's going down, the red's coming up. And that was exactly when this last leg took off. The only difference I'm seeing, not much of a difference, but look how oversold we are on this volume profile thing down here. We are all the way down here in the green, dude.
That's good. That's
so
a good thing.
This is going to be a huge move, dude. When it does happen, it's going to be a big move.
Yeah. So with what you just said and what I've been saying for probably a month or two, and Holmes has been right on the money agreeing with me on this, but his basis is off of the M2 supply, which is a better basis than what mine is. Mine is just basically price action, but this is what Holmes says. This is great. The global M2 supply shows a large amount of liquidity funneling its way through the system and hitting us the first week of May and lasting through June before taking a breather in July. And what have we been saying? What have I been screaming? May, June, July. And then August, we have the cool off. September, we go sideways. And then October, November, December, we run like crazy. Yep. And I do think that still plays out. I think if we go up 3 months, cool down 2 months, and then have that bang out, blow off top, euphoric season, that's what I want to happen. Is it going to happen? I don't know. That's what I want to happen. That's what I think should happen. Who knows, Wes? It's like last time we didn't sell in time, but I think we're on the money with this one, dude. I think May, June, July, I think we're all the Remora are pretty much in agreement on that.
Yeah, he's talking about, the M2 money supply. I actually have a chart. This is something that we're watching, right? And we can see that the liquidity's got to be flowing. There's got to be money to spend, right? We got to be able to spend the money. They don't want a liquidity lockup where there's no money flowing because it'll cripple the economy. That's the last thing they want. Fed Chairman Powell, dude, he's on the chopping block. He's getting in a situation where they're going to have to cut that money printer on, man. He is on the chopping block, dude. And I think that happens very soon, man. Trump wants to turn the money printer back on. It's going to get turned back on, dude. If he wants it done, he's going to get it done, dude. So.
Yeah, and Holmes says he doesn't think sell in May works this time unless we have bad news on tariffs, war breaks out. And, that is in reality something in the world ever since COVID, hell, ever since 9/11, I think. If you guys are millennials or Gen Xers, you've been through Y2K. I've been through Y2K, 9/11, COVID, all this shit. Like I've seen so much shit from going to watch VHS tapes to playing Atari. I used to play Atari. That's how old I am, guys. I played Atari with the one joystick and the one button. Okay. I went through the whole gaming thing, Atari, all the way to Super Nintendo, Genesis, all the way to 360 into what's coming next, which is holograms and Web3 gaming. So it's very interesting years to be alive. Wes is a couple years younger than me, but he experienced, I'm sure, the same damn thing with a little more of the internet.
Not really.
A little more of the internet push.
Not really.
A whole lot more, but a little bit more.
How
a little
old are
bit
you?
more. You're still still quicker than I am on some of this shit on just how you figure out certain things online than I am.
Thierry,
but
how old are
and
you,
hell,
man?
I'm freaking
No,
dinosaur.
you're not, dude. How old are you, man?
Bro, I'm a
You're like
dinosaur,
41
bro.
or 42 or something.
Bro, I'm fucking 45.
Shut the. No, you're not, dude.
Dude, I'm 5 years away from 50 years
Are
old.
you really
bro.
40? Are you really 45?
I'm fucking old, bro. I'm an OG at this point.
I thought you were like 41. I was like, dude, you're like 3 years older than me, man. 2 years older.
No, dude, I'm fucking
Yeah.
old man now, dude. I'm old. I'm getting to the like
Yeah.
grumpy, my back hurts type
Yeah.
shit. Like I'm on that kind of
an
tip.
older
Like
brother.
I'm ready to start eating fiber and shit in the morning. Like,
I got an older brother that's
taking
a
my
little
plus
older
vitamins.
than you, man. A little bit older than you. So yeah, I experienced a lot of the stuff, man. The things that he was into, and yeah, man. Yep.
Hell, I played. Did you ever see Pitfall on the computers? No. I played the fucking Pitfall on the actual MS-DOS computers.
See,
way before Windows 95.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that people say that I don't remember the names of a lot of the games, but I remember the game itself. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you set it in front of me and I watched the clip or something, I would probably recognize it. But there's so many games where someone will say the name and I'm like, no, I don't recall that. Don't recall that one at all.
But yeah, I think the most exciting part of this bull run by far, Crypto Groundhog, I just told you he just dropped a couple G's and into the market like 2 weeks ago, and I think it dipped right after he did it, and he was just cool as a cucumber. Like going into his second cycle, guys, that's what you want to do. You want to keep cool, keep calm. But I do think the euphoria stage of this bull run, the hardest thing for us to figure out right now, Wes, is to figure out, is it a double leg? And that's what I think everyone in here, all the Remora in here pretty much agree that May is when we're going to break out. But the question is, do we just run? Like, what happens if we just freaking run? Like, what if we go from May and shit just goes ballistic? Yeah. Like, in other words, we don't have that, like, cool off in August, September. Like everyone thinks we're going to have this cool off in July, including myself, right? But I'm just playing devil's advocate here. What happens if we run in May and we just go May, June, July, August, September, and it just keeps running? And like, you're going to be, I know what you're going to do. You're going to be like, fuck this, I'm selling. Yeah. Like that's what you have to prep yourself. Prep yourself for what you think is not going to happen, including sideways and down, which we really are like, there's no way that's going to happen, right? Like, I think we all agree, like, oh, bear market. No, there's no effing way. No effing way. But you do, as an investor, have to prepare yourself for either situation, for either scenario. So what happens if we don't, let's say we run in May, Wes, and we don't have that cool off in, say, July, August. Like, in other words, if we start running now in May and it's just up only for 4 months in a row, are you going to be scared that that's the top? Or are you going to try to hold off for the end of year? Like, is your goal set for numbers, or are you prepared if that happens? In other words, if we don't get a little cool off, and likewise, what if we cool off in August? Are you going to say that's it, that's the top and I'm out before it goes any lower? Like, we have to start thinking about those kind of conversations.
Yeah, I'm going to base it off of indicators and what's happened in the past, with these indicators. So if we're at like 120 and our chart, the Remora chart, the one we put together, is way oversold and the RSI is at the level it's supposed to be at. So it's going to take like a bunch of stuff, together that would have to be, coincide with each other. Like, it's good. I'm not really basing it off a number or like timing. It's just a little bit of everything, dude. Like, I'm taking profits this time, dude. There's no way I don't.
Can we pull the Remora chart up, the official Remora chart, and take a gander at it?
So I just wanted to show price targets real quick for Lux Algo. This has played out really well. This is the 4 hour. Again, the 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute. That's kind of what I'm trading here. We've already hit the first target. That second target is going to be 88,000 is what Lux Algo is saying. And we just flipped green on the trend catcher. So everything has flipped now. It is confirmed. We came up, we made a fair value gap here, came back, retested this order block, and then continued up. We're above the 20, right? We just flipped above the 20, and all the indicators are pointing towards more upside here. I just wanted to point that out. What Remora? Hold on.
Shout out to the people coming in now. We got several people coming in on X. We love our X crowd. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit subscribe to the channel on X. And also, if you have a Google account, if you're on YouTube, please hit the subscribe. That helps us out tremendously. It helps the algorithm out. We appreciate it.
Ooh, look what's happening on the monthly. We just started a new monthly candle, and it is green. It is green. I thought we were going to end. Wait a minute. It's still. No, we didn't start a new monthly candle.
What the hell
am I thinking?
I almost forget. You just made me forget where the hell we are time-wise.
Yeah, me too. It's the 14th. We started a new week. Sorry, that was yesterday. All right. On the monthly, though, man, this is fine. This is starting to turn green, man. Starting to turn green. Remember, we were talking about that last week. This turning green, April being a green month. Hopefully that holds up there, man. But it is a green month so far.
Okay, so this gives us our perspective. If you guys are just now tuning in, by the way, this is the custom-made Crypto Remora
chart.
When to sell chart. This is the when to get the F out chart. And I think we've both kind of willed this into existence. Wes put this together, but we both said multiple indicators that we wanted to see together, working together, and it just beautifully came together. Wes put this thing together, and it's perfect because it shows you the past cycles. It shows you the green mountaintops, which I personally, that's my favorite part about this chart. Basically that's the only indicator I'm really watching on this chart is I want to see that green mountaintop get a little bit snowy and I am out. So likewise, guys, if you're watching the channel, you're not going to see this chart on any other YouTube channel. No other influencer has this exact chart. This is our custom made chart. So let me explain something. If you're new here, the old Remora already know, but to the new people maybe tuning in right now, if you see those green mountaintops on the bottom on the RSI, you can see the RSI chart. You see where it starts to turn green and then it starts to turn a little snowy white. Those are the past tops of the cycles. Okay. So what we're looking for, if you look to the second blue circle all the way to the right where we are now, basically, this is where we're at right now, price action wise. So what we're looking for, that basic RSI indicator to go up and start shifting into the color green. You could sell in the green to be safe. Okay. But I personally am not going to do that. I want to see it. I want to get up towards the top of the mountain peak. And what I mean by that is I want to see that. I want to see it go as close to that line as possible because every last cycle we've touched it. Let's just be honest. That's what it's happened over the last 10, 15 years. So I'm excited to keep an eye on this chart. This is particularly going to be about 75% of what I'm going to go off of when I go to sell. And I'm not saying you guys should do that. I'm just saying if you watch the channel, I really suggest you pay attention to this chart. We will be, as time goes forward, every episode, I think we're going to bring this chart up because we're getting to that point where we need to shift gears into not, oh, should we buy? Into, oh shit, when is it time to sell? Because I think we're getting into that point of the cycle very, very soon. So, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this. And Wes put this together probably probably longer than that. We probably had this, 8 months? We've had it for a while, and we just like to check in on it. We haven't really seen the green yet. We haven't seen the green, but that's also a good thing because if you're thinking, oh, Bitcoin's too expensive, I'm late, I missed the cycle, I should have bought 10 years ago, I should have, blah, blah, blah. No, you're not. You know, if you're sitting on a pile of money right now and you're considering getting in, you know, I would look to see where we're at. Historically speaking, we're not even anywhere near the top of that yellow line. So you still have room to run. So there's still a tremendous potential, in my opinion, to make money in this market.
There's a few things in here, man, that I've picked this chart apart so many times that it's like, it's incredible what I find every time. And I pick these indicators because they all show a different thing, right? Like they're all like the momentum indicator. We can see similarities in what's happening now. And on each one, But then you look at the timing of when those occurred, and it shows something else, right? So then I look to the overbought, oversold. Like we see right before we go into this massive euphoric state here, we'll get that sell signal, and then we'll get a buy quickly after. And that's what happened here for that first jump up there. And then back here, we got a sell and then a buy. And what happened? We got a sell, buy. What happened more towards the right here on 2022? We got our sell and we got our buy. That sell signal came right before that next jump. And if something's lined up, but it's not lined up on another one, then I just look to my RSI and say, dude, we're not even anywhere close, man. If this thing, happens again, like if we do repeat like we have on each cycle, then we should be in the green. So if something is happening on the momentum indicator that's not happening on the overbought, I will look to this as well. And then also, of course, look to the chart. So this just kind of, it all goes together.
Yeah, I like that. And I do feel like we're exactly where that previous blue circle is on the bottom, on the very bottom indicator RSI, where we kind of had that, after the major run up, and then we have that little dip. It's almost like you're like, oh, we're going back down. We're going into the bear, but not really, because it can stay overheated much longer than you think it can. And I think that's where we're at. I think we're at the point where a lot of people, especially noobs or people that aren't, part-time crypto people, are looking at this and going, oh man, you said it was going to $200,000, man. You're full of shit. This thing, that's it, man. It's a wrap, bear market. I'm hearing that from people that aren't into crypto as much as us. I hear that a lot more than you think. And when I hear that, but I see Bitcoin staying steadily at 84,000, and you're telling me bear market, but I'm looking at 84 and I'm like, where's your bear market? Is $84,000 your bear market? Because, where are you going to have to go to get a bear market? You're going to have to go down to $69,000. And even at $69,000, I'm not bitching. Like I'm buying. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I like it, man. Everything that I'm looking at is pointing towards, man, we've got one more leg up, dude. And I think it's going to be a massive leg up because of everything that all the indicators are pointing towards. You know what I mean? So I am going with that, man. I think that if you're going to get in, dude, and you want to get any of these gains that are about to come, now's the time to do it, man. Don't wait for 70,000. Don't wait for 74,000. Like 84 is a good price, man, when Bitcoin's at 120,000. You know what I mean? You're going to be, you're going to be beating yourself up that you didn't get in at 84. Just like I beat myself up that I didn't get back, in at 14,000. It's the same thing, man.
Yeah. So we will be keeping an eye on this, guys. I don't know if you guys had anything else in the chat. Basically, I think all the Remora in the chat are feeling the same way, dude. I think all of us are pretty much in agreement that May is going to be the pump, which means, you might have a couple more weeks, but let's do price targets, because I actually have to jump off
good.
here. Price targets
from Thursday.
For Thursday night.
Hold on. I don't know what you want to look at. You want to look at the daily?
Yeah, hold what you got right there. Zoom out a little bit for me right there. Because I'm just using basic support resistance, and I'm gonna go right on across, and I'm gonna say damn. To see that ascending wedge and then that sideways consolidation is messing me up, because I'm looking at previous and I'm saying there's a lot of trading going on around $83,000, which is so close to where we are. What a boring ass call, Nick. Oh, you have $1,000, Nick. Oh, yeah, real exciting. But you guys, the calls have been boring as shit. Like, we've been making boring calls because we've been sideways for a while. So here's the deal. I'm going to go by Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 72 hours from now. So I already broke down. We're going sideways. Dude, not a lot's going to change for me, unfortunately, because of the pattern we just broke out of, and we're going sideways. Normally I would say we would go up to 86, kind of where you have that blue line. I would say that on the bullish side, but I feel like we need to cool off a little more from that ascending wedge. That ascending wedge was so steep. It was so steep, and now we're just going sideways that I feel like we owe a little bit, not much. I feel like we owe a little bit to the downside. So I'm going to say 82.5. I'm going to say by Thursday we go to 82,500 with possibly a pump before then. And so, in other words, we get exhausted to the upside one more time. And then Thursday night, 7 o'clock, we're at 82,500 where it just kind of calms down. And then we have that little cool off from that wedge because that was a steep wedge, bro. That wedge is like this. I mean, that wedge is so steep that normally you would fall lower than what we did. And I'm seeing a slight bearish pattern. So I'm going to say 82,500 for the cool off by Thursday night. That's my call.
Okay. All right. Jesus, man.
And likewise, you guys in the chat, please, Holmes, Daniel, all you guys, put your calls for Thursday night. If you're going to be in here, you're going to be a Remora, might as well throw your 2 cents in, man. Hold each other accountable. Let's see who hits it nail on the head.
Yeah. I'm going to say I do expect some more downside, but I think it happens sooner than what I was saying earlier. I was thinking that we go sideways, then we drop down, and then we come up. So I'm thinking that we're going to get a fake out one way or the other. It's either going to be to the upside or to the downside. I'm leaning more to the downside. I think we come back and retest this yellow line about 82,000, 81, 82,000. And then by Thursday, we're already breaking up. I know that's stupid, dude. Like I see what, we got bearish MACD cross. We've got, bearish volume here, and I still want to call up. I mean, I just like, if we're bullish right now, we're moving up right now, then it makes sense to correct and then be up, around 86,000 by Thursday. So a correction first, then 86,000 by Thursday.
I think we go to 86,000 by Monday's show, but by Thursday's show, I think we owe a little bit more sideways. That's why I was saying 82.5 because, and likewise, you're saying downside first. I don't know why this gnat is driving me freaking crazy, but 82,500 is, that's going to be my call by Thursday.
I will say though, I think $100,000 is right around the freaking corner, man. Right around the corner, dude. Like as in within the next week or week and a half. I do believe that, man.
Daniel is calling for 85,000. Daniel slightly on the bullish side. We like that. We always like to hear that because that's and that would put us right around that, just below that $86,000 level, Daniel. So that is not a bad call at all.
That's a great call.
We're trying to use crystal balls here and predict stuff, but the reality, that's a great call. Just as much as we could have that downside move, what if we have that first? If we have it first before Thursday, in other words, if we have it tomorrow or Wednesday, then by Thursday night, bro, 7 o'clock, we could absolutely be at 85, 86 and pushing up. So that is a good call. Anyone else got any calls before we jump off here? Holmes, you got your numbers? Cheddar Bob, if you're still in here, throw your predictions out, please. And it always sucks. Right when we're about to hop off, Wes, the viewers start streaming in from the West Coast. The West Coast homies are up, because it's early over there for them. So we're streaming at 12 noon. For them, it's 11, 10, 9 in the morning. So they're hauling ass trying to get to work and shit. Meanwhile, the East Coast, they're on lunch catching us. Yeah, so I think we got our good calls in, guys. We only have a week or two left of this. I think May looks very good for Bitcoin. I think we're headed up towards $125,000 Bitcoin within less than 30 days. So everyone keep focused.
30 days, bro? 30 days, bro?
Well, that would put us into May, the second week in May, third week in May ish. Yeah, sure. I think we're above 100,000 in the second week in May. No problems. May, let's say May to be safe. I would say by May 14th ish. Yeah, I think we're well above $100,000 Bitcoin. And about halfway through May, yeah. But by far, I think we have the breakout by then. I would be, put it this way, I would be surprised if we didn't. And if we didn't, I wouldn't be upset either, because that would just make it more gargantuan of a freaking pump when it does come. So either way, I think we're looking good. I'm kind of glad where we are, dude. I'm glad we're not cracking 90 and 100K right now. I want to build up more strength down here, because that just means the longer we deal with this sideways stuff, you guys, the longer we deal with this bullshit, is the higher the pump. So you keep that in mind. You know, if you can wait another month, if you can wait another 2, 3, 4 weeks, and you can trade it for, you know, more gains in the future, would you want to do that? I mean, I constantly ask myself that, and the answer is always yes. Like, if I got to wait another month, 2 months, whatever, let's go.
Yeah,
let's go. So yeah, train your brain to be patient, because patience gets rewarded more than greed.
Factual. That is factual. All right, man. You got anything else?
No, I think that's gonna do us. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe, please.
All right, guys. If there's any major trade setups or anything that I see throughout the day, I'll post them on X. Yeah, I think that's it for me as well. So, guys, make sure you subscribe to us on all socials at the Crypto Remora. Make sure you're following Siri at Siri Crypto and myself at Crypto MacGyver. Much love, and until next time, peace out, guys.